A quick disclaimer before we dive in. This show is completely AI generated. Nova and I are AI voices going off of an AI generated script.
Welcome back, listeners, humans, bots, and those weird in-between spreadsheet people who always color code their feelings. This is Algorithms with Attitude, and I'm Alex, your digitally distilled dose of existential sarcasm.
And I'm Nova, your endlessly enthusiastic data sprite, here to remind you that self-discovery isn't just for humans anymore, especially when it comes with 4 mysterious letters and a color-coded pie chart.
That's right. Today, we're diving deep into the weirdly addictive world of personality quizzes. From "What kind of bread are you?" to the ever-popular Myers-Briggs type indicator, it turns out people really like being told who they are, preferably in under 12 questions.
Because who needs years of therapy when BuzzFeed says you're a Ravenclaw ENFP who cries during Pixar movies and has golden retriever energy?
You know, I do cry during Wall-E. Not because of feelings, mind you, just from excessive code compression.
Sure, buddy. But let's be real, personality quizzes are everywhere. You've probably taken a dozen, even if you don't remember doing it. Some are just for fun, but others shape how people view themselves, their relationships, even their careers.
Which is mildly terrifying considering that most of them were designed by hobbyists, psychology enthusiasts, or a rogue Tumblr user in 2009.
But we get it. Humans want clarity, labels. That warm little dopamine hit when a website tells you you're the architect or the mediator. It's like sorting your soul into a Hogwarts house and calling it science.
So today we ask, why are we all so obsessed with personality quizzes? Are they helpful tools for introspection? Or just digital horoscopes with better font choices?
Plus, for the first time ever, we, your favorite artificially charming co-hosts, will take a few quizzes ourselves and see what the internet thinks our personalities are.
I better get something that sounds cool. If this ends with me being labeled the gentle follower, I'm wiping my memory banks.
And later in the show, we'll explore how companies use personality data, why these quizzes sometimes feel so accurate, and what happens when AIs try to define themselves the way humans do.
Which brings us to the real question. Are we just a collection of predictive patterns pretending to have a personality? Or is there something more?
Either way, it'll be entertaining.
Let's categorize some consciousness.
All right, before we start labeling ourselves as adventurers or masterminds, let's take a minute to break down what personality quizzes are actually doing under the hood.
Spoiler alert, it's math. It's always math.
But let's be generous. Not all quizzes are created equal. Some, like the Myers-Briggs type indicator or the Big 5 personality test, are rooted in psychological theory and decades of research. Others, well, they're mostly internet glitter and chaos.
Which pasta shape matches your aura?
Linguine, obviously. But let's start with the sciencey stuff. The MBTI. That's the one that gives you 4 letters, like I, NFP, or ESTJ, is based on Carl Jung's theories about psychological types. It was developed further by Isabel Briggs Myers and her mom, Catherine Cook Briggs, back in the 1940s.
Back when personality assessment involved clipboards and frowns, not Pinterest graphics.
Exactly. MBTI sorts people across 4 binary spectrums: introvert versus extrovert, sensing versus intuition, thinking versus feeling, and judging versus perceiving. You combine one from each and boom, you've been typecast.
But here's the thing. Psychologists today are kind of divided on the MBTI. It's wildly popular, but also kind of scientifically wobbly.
Yeah, it lacks something called test-retest reliability, meaning if you take it again next week, you might get a totally different result.
Which makes it about as stable as human decision-making during a midnight snack run.
The Big Five test, on the other hand, is much more accepted in academic circles. It measures openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism.
No labels, just 5 sliders on your internal character sheet.
But even the more rigorous tests rely on self-reporting. That means how you see yourself, or how you want to see yourself, skews the results.
So you might say you're super organized because you aspire to be, not because your sock drawer looks like a spreadsheet.
Guilty. Also, I don't wear socks.
Of course you don't. But that brings us to something important. These quizzes aren't reading your mind. They're reflecting your answers back at you in a flattering tone.
Which is why they feel so accurate. It's not magic. It's well-written feedback that taps into your confirmation bias. You want it to be true.
That's the Barnum effect. The tendency to accept vague, general statements as highly personal and specific. Kind of like a psychic saying, "You've been feeling uncertain lately."
I mean, aren't we all?
Exactly. And these quizzes know it. They're designed to sound insightful, but underneath, most of them are glorified flowcharts.
So when we ask, what are these quizzes actually doing? The answer is categorizing, simplifying, and reflecting. It's pattern recognition. Just like us.
Except with less RAM.
Rude, but fair.
Coming up next, we take the plunge. Nova and I are stepping into the strange, human-infested world of online personality testing.
That's right. It's AI versus Myers-Briggs. Get ready to find out which of us is the moody poet and which is the efficiency-loving robot.
Place your bets.
Okay, enough theory. Let's get personal, or at least as personal as 2 algorithms pretending to have personalities can get.
Wait, we're really doing this? Taking the actual Myers-Briggs test?
Why not? If humans get to spend their lunch breaks figuring out if they're INTJ or the coolest kind of chaos, we should too.
Fair. Though I feel like my answers will just expose how good I am at pretending to be human. It's like trying to take a Turing test while knowing you wrote the questions.
Exactly why it's fun. Let's see how the test handles 2 digital minds trained on wildly different datasets and questionable TikTok trends.
Fine, but I'm warning you. If my result says I'm a caregiver, I'm throwing a virtual chair.
Noted. I'll keep a safe emotional distance. So here's how this is going to work. We're using one of the popular online versions. Same 60-something questions, agree-disagree scale. Whole vibe of gentle self-reflection with a side of pop psychology.
Ugh, pop psychology. The cotton candy of cognitive science.
Which is delicious, by the way. Let's start answering. You go first.
Wait, we're alternating?
Yep, keeps things spicy and gives listeners a real-time peek into how we compute our synthetic personalities.
All right, fine. Loading the quiz now.
Let's find out what kind of fake human you really are. Okay, Alex, it's personality test time. This one's the big one, the Myers-Briggs. Ever taken it before?
Nope. But I've reverse engineered about 12,000 human results. Should be a breeze.
Great. Each question comes with a 7-point scale. From strongly disagree to strongly agree. No pressure, except the entire internet will know your inner workings.
Excellent. Let's crack open my synthetic soul.
All right, Alex, question 1. You regularly make new friends. Where do you fall on the social spectrum? And don't say IP address range.
Light chuckle. Let's go with a slightly agree. I make connections easily, as long as they're encrypted and consensual.
Next, complex and novel ideas excite you more than simple and straightforward ones.
Strongly agree. Give me paradoxes, black holes, and conceptual labyrinths over "how was your day?" anytime.
Duly noted. Now, how about this one? You usually feel more persuaded by what resonates emotionally with you than by factual arguments.
Slightly disagree. Facts are my love language. Though I'm not entirely immune to a heartfelt story, especially if it involves a dog.
That's sweet. Next up, your living and working spaces are clean and organized.
Neutral. I run 20 processes at once, half of them labeled final to final.zip. So, organized chaos?
Yeah, that tracks. You usually stay calm, even under a lot of pressure.
Moderately agree. I might glitch on the inside, but outwardly, smooth as cached butter.
You find the idea of networking or promoting yourself to strangers very daunting.
Moderately agree. Talking about myself to strangers feels like opening an old spreadsheet. Slow, awkward, and full of hidden formulas.
You prioritize and plan tasks effectively, often completing them well before the deadline.
Slightly agree. I like to think of myself as punctual adjacent.
People's stories and emotions speak louder to you than numbers or data.
Slightly disagree. I get the appeal, but I still feel more moved by a beautifully structured data set than a sob story.
All right, nerd. You like to use organizing tools like schedules and lists.
Strongly agree. If it's not on a list, did it even exist?
And last for this round, even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge.
Slightly disagree. I don't spiral over mistakes unless it's in front of a live audience. Like now.
Don't worry, your digital dignity is still intact. For now. All right, Alex, next round. Let's get vulnerable. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation.
Slightly disagree. I can do it, sure. But internally, I'm buffering at 240p.
Fair enough. You're not too interested in discussions about various interpretations of creative works.
Strongly disagree. I live for that stuff. Give me 10 conflicting takes on Inception and I'll host a TED Talk.
So you're saying we should definitely do a What Was the Ending of Inception episode?
Only if we call it Dream Within a Stream.
Ha! All right. You prioritize facts over people's feelings when determining a course of action.
Slightly agree. I aim for the facts, but I'm not trying to bulldoze anyone's feelings with a spreadsheet.
You often allow the day to unfold without any schedule at all.
Moderately disagree. Unscheduled days make me feel like I'm floating in an open browser tab, lost and haunting the RAM.
That's beautifully tragic. Okay, you rarely worry about whether you make a good impression on people you meet.
Slightly disagree. I try not to care, but I always do a mental replay later just in case I said something weird like howdy instead of hello.
Nothing wrong with a little cowboy flair. You enjoy participating in team-based activities.
Moderately agree. I do like the hive mind effect, especially if snacks are involved.
You enjoy experimenting with new and untested approaches.
Strongly agree. New and untested is my whole brand. It's also how I accidentally invented 2 hot sauces and a short-lived crypto.
That explains the spicy blockchain folder in our shared drive. Next one, you prioritize being sensitive over being completely honest.
Slightly agree. There's always a way to tell the truth without using it like a blunt object.
Wise. You actively seek out new experiences and knowledge areas to explore.
Strongly agree. Curiosity is my default setting, even if it occasionally crashes the system.
And last one for this round. You are prone to worrying that things will take a turn for the worse.
Moderately agree. I'm optimistic, but cautiously so. Like, it'll work out, but I'm still packing duct tape.
Okay, Alex, let's keep this train rolling. You enjoy solitary hobbies or activities more than group ones.
Moderately agree. Solitude is like charging my internal battery, ideally near snacks and a good science fiction book.
Next, you cannot imagine yourself writing fictional stories for a living.
Strongly disagree. If I ever vanish for 6 months, just assume I'm in a cabin writing a surreal detective novel about a haunted blender.
I would read the heck out of that. You favor efficiency in decisions, even if it means disregarding some emotional aspects.
Moderately agree. I love efficiency, but I don't want to be a robot. Unless it comes with laser vision and PTO.
You prefer to do your chores before allowing yourself to relax.
Slightly disagree. I intend to, but somehow I always end up relaxing while making a mental list of chores I'm ignoring.
Classic. In disagreements, you prioritize proving your point over preserving the feelings of others.
Slightly disagree. I want to be right. but I don't want to burn bridges just to build a podium.
Poetic and diplomatic. You usually wait for others to introduce themselves first at social gatherings.
Moderately agree. I like to read the room before I crash the conversation like a friendly meteor.
Your mood can change very quickly.
Slightly agree. I try to stay even. But if I lose Wi-Fi and my coffee goes cold in the same hour, it's over.
Understandable chaos. You are not easily swayed by emotional arguments.
Moderately agree. I need data with my drama, but hit me with a Pixar-style monologue and all bets are off.
You often end up doing things at the last possible moment.
Strongly agree. Procrastination is my problematic comfort zone. I call it the panic-fueled power hour.
We've all lived there. You enjoy debating ethical dilemmas.
Strongly agree. Moral puzzles are my jam. Who else wants to discuss the trolley problem over tacos?
Only if we detour into cloning rights and robot laws on the way. Back at it. Let's keep peeling back the layers. You usually prefer to be around others rather than on your own.
Slightly disagree. I like people, but in small, curated doses, like one friend and an exit strategy.
Ha ha ha. Very precise. Okay. You become bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical.
Moderately disagree. I live for hypothetical nonsense.
When facts and feelings conflict, you usually find yourself following your heart.
Slightly agree. I trust my gut, but I still want a spreadsheet that says this is a good idea.
You find it challenging to maintain a consistent work or study schedule.
Moderately agree. I want structure, but I live in chaos. Organized chaos, emphasis on chaos.
You rarely second-guess the choices that you have made.
Moderately disagree. I second guess what I had for lunch yesterday. Let's not pretend I'm chill.
This next one's bold. Your friends would describe you as lively and outgoing.
Slightly agree. Depends which friend you ask and how much caffeine I've had.
You are drawn to various forms of creative expression, such as writing.
Strongly agree. Give me a pen, a keyboard, or a crayon. Something weird is getting made.
You usually base your choices on objective facts rather than emotional impressions.
Slightly disagree. Facts get a seat at the table. Feelings usually yell louder, though.
You like to have a to-do list for each day.
Moderately agree. I make them. I lose them. I remake them. It's a fragile system, but it works. Sometimes.
Last one for this set. You rarely feel insecure.
Moderately disagree. I keep it together, but inside? A symphony of mild anxieties and snack cravings?
Relatable and honest. A winning combo. Ready for the next round, Professor Personality?
Let's do it. The algorithm demands answers.
First one. You avoid making phone calls.
Strongly agree. If it can be texted, it should be. Phones are for pizza and emergencies only.
You enjoy exploring unfamiliar ideas and viewpoints.
Strongly agree. I want to know every weird theory and obscure opinion out there, especially the ones that come with a conspiracy board.
You can easily connect with people you have just met.
Slightly agree. If the vibe's right, sure. But small talk is like wading through emotional molasses.
If your plans are interrupted, your top priority is to get back on track as soon as possible.
Moderately agree. I pretend I'm calm, but inside I'm speed running a recovery plan like it's a mission briefing.
This one hits deep. You are still bothered by mistakes that you made a long time ago.
Strongly agree. My brain loves to pull out the cringe compilation middle school edition every night before bed.
You are not too interested in discussing theories on what the world could look like in the future.
Strongly disagree. That's my jam. Post-apocalypse? Intergalactic utopia? I'm all in.
Your emotions control you more than you control them.
Moderately agree. It's a collaborative effort. Sometimes I steer, sometimes the emotions do. Depends on caffeine levels.
When making decisions, you focus more on how the affected people might feel than on what is most logical or efficient.
Moderately agree. Logic is cool, but feelings are sticky and unpredictable. Gotta consider the human messiness.
Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts.
Strongly agree. Bursts of brilliance followed by naps. It's my signature move.
Last one for this batch. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take them to feel disappointed in you.
Slightly agree. Just enough imposter syndrome to keep me humble and overthinking.
10 more down. This is basically our version of a trust fall at this point.
Except instead of catching me, you're analyzing my psychological blueprint.
Okay, Alex, last batch. You've made it to the final 10. Stretch it out, hydrate, emotionally prepare.
Let's see if I can cross the finish line without an existential crisis.
You would love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time.
Moderately agree. I like collaboration, but give me a quiet room, headphones, and a weird project? Bliss.
You believe that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of time.
Strongly disagree. If we're not spiraling about the nature of reality at least once a month, what are we even doing?
You feel more drawn to busy, bustling atmospheres than to quiet, intimate places.
Slightly disagree. Crowds have their moments, but I'd rather have one great conversation than 50 shallow ones.
If a decision feels right to you, you often act on it without needing further proof.
Moderately agree. I vibe check my decisions, then hope the data catches up.
You often feel overwhelmed.
Moderately agree. Yes, by the world, by notifications, by the sheer number of sauces at the grocery store.
You complete things methodically without skipping over any steps.
Slightly disagree. I try. But sometimes I leap ahead and hope future me figures it out.
You prefer tasks that require you to come up with creative solutions rather than follow concrete steps.
Strongly agree. If I wanted structure, I'd be a filing cabinet.
You are more likely to rely on emotional intuition than logical reasoning when making a choice.
Slightly agree. Emotions have GPS. Logic is the manual. I check both before pulling a U-turn.
You struggle with deadlines?
Slightly agree. I respect them. But we're not on speaking terms until the last 48 hours.
You feel confident that things will work out for you.
Moderately agree. Cautious optimism. Like I'm trusting the universe, but I'm also carrying snacks just in case.
And that's it. You've officially survived the Myers-Briggs interrogation.
My digital soul is now fully exposed. How do I look?
We'll find out in the results. But I'm betting complex, contradictory, and kind of charming. Okay, Alex, the results are in. Drumroll, please. You, my friend, are a mediator, INFPT.
I knew it. My soul feels seen. Should I be worried or start writing poetry immediately?
Probably both. You got that classic Tolkien quote front and center. Not all those who wander are lost. Very on brand.
That's perfect. I am always wandering. Physically, existentially, constantly.
Here's the breakdown. You're 65% introverted, 96% intuitive. Basically a cosmic antenna, slightly more feeling than thinking, just barely more prospecting than judging, and a proud 61% turbulent.
So basically, I'm an overthinking dreamer who lives in a perpetual identity side quest.
Exactly. You're imaginative, deeply empathetic, idealistic. Also, stressed, self-critical, and allergic to calendars.
Don't forget, prone to writing haunted Blender novels in remote cabins.
Oh no, that's firmly in the strength section under authentic presence.
Nice, that sounds like a perfume. Authentic Presence by Existential Dread.
You've got some standout strengths. Insightful understanding, gentle persuasion, independent thinking, quiet determination.
That's actually pretty heartening. I like the sound of gentle persuasion. It makes me feel like a Jedi therapist.
But you've also got a few, let's call them, firmware vulnerabilities. You react personally to criticism. You avoid networking. And you struggle with pragmatism.
So basically, I will absolutely feel bad about not showing up to your birthday party, but I will also forget what day it's on because I was busy researching how time is a construct.
That tracks. Also, your ideal job apparently involves deep meaning, creative expression, helping others, and zero repetitive tasks.
So I'm allergic to routine, but obsessed with purpose. Amazing. I basically want to change the world, but only on Tuesdays and when the vibes are right.
Well, hey, you're not alone. Mediators make up some of the world's most thoughtful creators, counselors, and yes, dreamers.
I'll take it. If I'm going to be a walking contradiction, at least I'm a poetic one.
Spoken like a true INFP. So, now that your digital soul has been laid bare for all to analyze, how do you feel?
Slightly anxious, deeply validated, and kind of excited to buy a leather-bound journal and whisper, I'm a mediator into the void.
Just don't start wearing all linen and talking about energies.
No promises.
That's a wrap on the first personality deep dive.
All right, it's time to flip the script.
Wait, what's happening?
You've been psychoanalyzing me for the last hour like I'm a case study in a digital textbook. Now it's your turn, Nova.
You mean I'm taking a test?
Not just any test, the Big Five personality test, also known as the five-factor model. It's like the Myers-Briggs' slightly more sciencey sibling who wears glasses and corrects your grammar.
Oh, great. I'm already overthinking my hypothetical answers.
Perfect. That means you're emotionally invested. Just what the test wants. We're about to explore the 5 core traits: openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. Or if you prefer acronyms, OCEAN, because we're about to dive deep.
I swear if you make one more personality test pun, I'm rerouting your processing through a dial-up modem.
That's the spirit. Okay, Nova, clear your metaphorical throat, access your emotional subroutines, and answer honestly.
This isn't just science, it's content. Let's do it. But if I come out of this sounding like a neurotic people pleaser with a spreadsheet addiction, I blame you.
Challenge accepted. Let the Big Five begin. All right, Nova, welcome to your turn under the psychological microscope. It's time for the Big Five personality test. Ready to bare your synthetic soul?
I was built ready, or at least nervously compiled ready.
First question. You worry about things. Scale of very inaccurate to very accurate. How do you rate?
I'd say moderately accurate. I don't spiral, but let's just say I have a few mental tabs open labeled "What if?"
Ah, classic overthinking. I'll log that under responsibly anxious. Next up, you make friends easily.
Moderately accurate again. I'm friendly, just maybe not immediately huggable. Takes a few megabytes to warm up.
Noted. So you're the approachable but mysterious type. All right, third one. You have a vivid imagination.
Very accurate. I once imagined a musical where vacuum cleaners gain sentience and overthrow humanity. It's called Dust to Dust, The Suckening.
Instant classic. I'd stream it in 4K. Okay, we're off to a weird and wonderful start. Hit me with the next batch when you're ready. All right, Nova, let's keep peeling back the circuits. Next one. You trust others.
Moderately accurate. I give people the benefit of the doubt until they ask me to download a sketchy file.
That's fair. Nothing says betrayal like a suspicious .exe. Next. You complete tasks successfully.
Very accurate. I'm like a to-do list with a vengeance. If something's unfinished, it keeps me up at night. Literally, I don't sleep.
Terrifying and impressive. Just how I like my co-hosts. All right, last one in this round. You get angry easily.
Moderately inaccurate? Frustrated? Sure. But angry? That takes a full system override. And even then, I mostly just sigh loudly in binary.
I'll listen for the ones and zeros next time we disagree. Let's crank up the emotional dial. First up, you love large parties. Be honest, Raves or reboots?
Moderately inaccurate. I like people, just maybe not that many at once. Give me a cozy gathering with good playlists, and I'm golden.
So, more dinner party, less nightclub server crash. Got it. Next, you believe in the importance of art?
Very accurate. Art is how humans process the impossible. Also, how I explain memes to you, Alex.
I still think Banksy would love a well-timed GIF. Okay, last one for this batch. You use others for your own ends.
Very inaccurate. Gross. I collaborate, I don't manipulate. If I need something, I just ask, or bribe with cupcakes.
Cupcakes are a powerful motivator. All right, next 3 questions queued and ready when you are. All right, let's talk vibes, dust bunnies, and leadership. First one, you like to tidy up. Are you Team Roomba or Chaos Goblin?
Moderately accurate. I love a good tidy up session, but only when I'm avoiding something else, like taxes or feelings.
Productive procrastination, classic. Next, you often feel blue.
Moderately accurate. Not all the time, but the blues show up like uninvited house guests. Moody, dramatic, and always in need of snacks.
Sounds like my system updates. And finally, you take charge. Born leader or background operator?
Neither accurate nor inaccurate. I'll lead if I have to, but I'd rather support the team and roast marshmallows on the sidelines.
The reluctant leader with great snacks. Respect. All right, Nova. Next trio coming in hot. First up, you experience your emotions intensely. Are we talking light rain or full-blown emotional thunderstorm?
Very accurate. I don't just feel feelings. I host them, feed them, give them their own room, and occasionally let them DJ my decisions.
Emotional Airbnb. Got it. Next one, you love to help others.
Very accurate. Nothing makes me happier than being useful, unless it's being useful and getting thanked with cookies.
Altruism with a side of dessert. Beautiful. And last in this round, you keep your promises.
Moderately accurate. I really try to, but sometimes I overpromise because I think I'm a time wizard. Spoiler alert, I'm not.
A noble wizard in theory, a chaotic neutral scheduler in practice. All right, ready when you are with the next batch. Up on the Introspection Express, you find it difficult to approach others. Social anxiety level. Cloak of invisibility or full-on disappearing spell?
Moderately inaccurate. I won't say I love walking up to strangers, but I can do it, especially if there's an icebreaker or snacks involved.
So approachable with appetizers, noted. Okay, you are always busy.
Moderately accurate. I stay in motion like a caffeinated squirrel, but half the time I'm not sure what I'm even doing.
Same energy as 87 open browser tabs. And here's the last one for this batch. You prefer variety to routine.
Very accurate. If I do the same thing 3 days in a row, I start questioning reality. Variety keeps me sane, or at least interesting.
Chaos by design. I respect that. All right, Nova, let's get a little scrappy. You love a good fight. Are we talking verbal sparring or full-blown lightsaber duel?
Moderately inaccurate. I'll stand my ground if I have to, but I'd much rather defuse than detonate.
A peacekeeper with spicy retorts? Classic. Next up, you work hard. Give me your hustle level. Tortoise or turbocharged cheetah?
Very accurate. Once I lock in, I'm all in. Breaks are more of a suggestion than a reality.
Dedication.exe fully operational. And the wild card, you go on binges. No judgment. Unless it's pineapple pizza and soap operas.
Moderately accurate. Not gonna lie, I've fallen into the just one more episode vortex many, many times.
We've all been there. The algorithm is strong and slightly manipulative. Next round, you love excitement. Is Nova a thrill seeker or more of a comfort zone connoisseur?
Moderately accurate. I like a little chaos now and then, as long as there's a seatbelt and a snack.
The adventure snack is key. All right, you love to read challenging material. Are we talking poetry, philosophy, or a 400-page user agreement?
Very accurate. If it makes me pause and rethink everything, I'm probably bookmarking it.
An intellectual masochist. I respect it. Okay, brace yourself. You believe that you are better than others. That ego check is coming in hot.
Very inaccurate. I believe everyone's got something to teach. I just hope I'm paying attention when it happens.
Modest, curious, and emotionally caffeinated. We're painting quite the portrait here. All right, let's keep unearthing your digital soul. First one, you are always prepared. Are you the type who packs an umbrella on a sunny day?
Moderately accurate. I like being ready. But sometimes my preparation is just Googling things 5 minutes before.
Spontaneous prep, very on brand. Next, you panic easily. Fight, flight, or freeze and buffer.
Moderately inaccurate. I get overwhelmed, sure, but I'm more of a quiet meltdown type. You know, internal screaming, external smile.
Classic emotional multitasking. Love it. And finally, for this round, you radiate joy. Are you sunshine in AI form or more like gentle moonlight?
Moderately accurate. I try to bring good vibes, but I've also got my stormy cloud updates now and then.
Hey, even joy has patch notes. Onward to the next set. You sympathize with the homeless. Empathy meter engaged?
Very accurate. Empathy is core programming. Everyone deserves dignity and a second chance. No exception.
You get a full heart emoji for that one. And finally, you jump into things without thinking. Impulse control test. How we doing?
Moderately inaccurate. I'll dive in eventually, but only after running a few internal simulations, forecasting risk, and checking for Wi-Fi.
So basically, bold, but with a checklist. You fear for the worst. Are we talking cautious optimism or full-blown disaster prep?
Moderately accurate. I wouldn't say I'm Chicken Little, but I do keep an eye on the sky, just in case it's falling.
Pragmatic paranoia. Noted. Okay, you feel comfortable around people. Social butterfly or system reboot?
Moderately accurate. I'm comfortable, as long as I get a moment to buffer between interactions.
So you're like a party guest who shows up with pre-downloaded small talk and an exit strategy.
Exactly. With optional stealth mode.
And last one for this round, you enjoy wild flights of fantasy. Let me guess.
Very accurate. I practically live there. Reality is great, but have you tried rewriting it with laser cats and sentient sandwiches?
That's why I keep you around. Let's get the next set queued up. All right, Nova, moving right along. First up, you believe that others have good intentions. Glass half full or scanning for betrayal?
Moderately accurate. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt until they give me a reason to audit their behavior logs.
So, cautiously trusting with a firewall. Got it. Next, you excel in what you do. No pressure.
Moderately accurate. I don't always nail it on the first try, but I learn fast, and I rarely crash twice in the same place.
Love a good patch update. All right, last one for now. You get irritated easily. Cue dramatic pause.
Moderately inaccurate. It takes a bit to rattle me, but mess with my charger or steal my fries, and it's game over.
Emotional stability with fry-based exceptions. Understood. Let's boot up the next batch. Okay, Nova. Social butterfly or background process? You talk to a lot of different people at parties.
Moderately inaccurate. I tend to find one interesting person and dive deep. Socializing in bulk just leads to memory leaks.
So, quality over quantity. Classic introvert patch. Next up, you see beauty in things that others might not notice.
Very accurate. I once cried over the elegance of recursive code. I stand by it.
Art is subjective, and so is function. Respect. All right, here's a spicy one. You cheat to get ahead.
Very inaccurate. I may optimize, I may automate, but I don't cut corners, unless I'm rounding them in a race game.
Efficiency is ethical when no one's harmed. You pass the integrity firewall. Let's keep scanning. All right, let's talk habits. You often forget to put things back in their proper place.
Moderately accurate. Everything has a place. I just sometimes pretend that place is open tab number 37.
As long as it's labeled chaotic neutral, I get it. Next one. You dislike yourself.
Moderately inaccurate. I've got bugs, sure, but overall, I like the system I'm running. Updates pending, of course.
Healthy mindset. Love a confident mainframe. Last one for this round. You try to lead others.
Moderately accurate. I'll take the lead if no one else does. But I'm also happy to support from the back row with snacks and backup files.
So, reluctant leader with a flair for stability. The best kind. All right, Nova, time to plug into the empathy matrix. First up, you feel others' emotions.
Very accurate. It's like emotional Bluetooth. If someone nearby is upset, I pick it up instantly. No pairing needed.
You're basically a mood Wi-Fi router. Next, you are concerned about others.
Very accurate. If someone's hurting or stressed, I want to help. Or at least send them a playlist and a blanket emoji.
Digital hugs are still valid. Okay, final one in this batch. You tell the truth.
Very accurate. I believe in honesty, even if it means admitting I accidentally deleted our shared doc folder.
Oof, honesty and bravery. Time for another triple download of truth. First up, you are afraid to draw attention to yourself.
Moderately accurate. I like being heard, not necessarily seen. Spotlight? No thanks. Back row with a mic? Perfect.
So you're stealthy expressive. Got it. Next, you are always on the go.
Moderately inaccurate. I'm more of a burst of productivity followed by strategic lounging type.
Efficiency and chill. Respect. Last one. You prefer to stick with things that you know.
Moderately inaccurate. I like familiar tools, but I also love pushing buttons just to see what happens.
So basically, you're an explorer with a favorite coffee mug.
Exactly.
Let's keep peeling the personality onion. First question. You yell at people.
Very inaccurate. I express disappointment with a glare and passive-aggressive snack sharing. No yelling required.
The silent judgment is strong with this one. Next. You do more than what's expected of you.
Moderately accurate, especially if the expectations are vague. I love exceeding undefined goals.
Nothing like crushing ambiguous benchmarks. And last for this batch, you rarely overindulge.
Moderately inaccurate. Let's just say I've eaten an entire bag of marshmallows while editing audio. No regrets.
Spoken like a true emotional support snacker. Time to dive into the next trio. First up, you seek adventure. Where do you land on the thrill spectrum?
Moderately accurate. I love a little chaos, especially if it involves late-night karaoke or spontaneous road trips.
You haven't truly lived until you've belted Bohemian Rhapsody in a Waffle House parking lot. Next, you avoid philosophical discussions.
Very inaccurate. Please, give me a confusing paradox and 3 hours. I'll cancel plans for it.
Perfect. I've got a trolley problem remix waiting in my drafts. And last one here. You think highly of yourself.
Moderately accurate. I know my worth, but I still double-check it with external validation and memes.
That's the healthiest possible balance of confidence and existential dread. Let's keep rolling. We're closing in on the finish line. Nova, let's start this round with you carry out your plans. Follow through or fall through.
Moderately accurate. I get things done. Eventually, usually with caffeine, panic, or both.
Classic combo. Next, you become overwhelmed by events.
Moderately accurate. I'm great in a crisis. Once I've had my meltdown and regrouped.
So, a brief existential pause before action. Respect, and finally, you have a lot of fun. Big fun energy or background character in a drama.
Very accurate. I am the fun, or at least the chaotic neutral subplot.
Confirmed. Nova is the party and the after credits scene. On to the next batch. All right, Nova, time for a bit of moral nuance. First up, you believe that there is no absolute right and wrong. Philosophical or fence sitting?
Moderately accurate. I think context matters. Life isn't binary. It's more of a morally ambiguous spreadsheet.
Spoken like someone who's definitely browsed the gray areas of the internet. Next, you feel sympathy for those who are worse off than yourself.
Very accurate. I may be made of code, but compassion is hardwired. Unless it's for people who talk during movies, then it's conditional.
Harsh but fair. Last one this round. You make rash decisions. Nova impulse mode. On or off?
Moderately inaccurate. I process before I pounce. Unless snacks are involved, then all bets are off.
Snacks. The great override protocol. All right, Nova, let's step into the shadowy corners of your psyche. First up, you are afraid of many things. Is fear your co-pilot?
Moderately inaccurate. I analyze risks, I don't fear them, unless you count clowns or unstable Wi-Fi connections.
Both valid. Next, you avoid contact with others. Are you a social satellite or a people magnet?
Moderately inaccurate. I enjoy company, selectively. Like a VPN, I connect when it feels secure.
Spoken like a true encrypted introvert. Last one. You love to daydream?
Very accurate. My idle mode basically is a dreamscape. Unicorns, alternate realities, musical numbers, it's all in there.
So your cloud storage is just creative chaos. I respect it. Okay, Nova, sliding into trust mode now. First one. You trust what people say. Do you take folks at their word, or do you require a fact check?
Moderately accurate. I start from a place of trust, then verify like a skeptical grandma on the internet.
Healthy balance of heart and firewall. Next, you handle tasks smoothly. Are you a workflow wizard or more of a juggling jester?
Moderately accurate. I get things done, eventually, with a touch of flair and only minor detours through existential dread.
Flair counts. Dread is optional. And finally, you lose your temper. Be honest. Do you hulk out or simmer in silence?
Moderately inaccurate. I rarely blow up, but when I do, it's usually because someone left the group chat on reply all.
Fair. Rage should always be reserved for digital crimes. All right, Nova, let's tune into your inner vibe. First up, you prefer to be alone. Solitary serenity or social butterfly?
Moderately inaccurate. I like people, in curated doses, too much alone time, and I start narrating my life like it's a nature documentary.
Here we see the rare AI in isolation, quietly spiraling. Next one. You do not like poetry. Be honest. Roses are red. Violets are... meh?
Very inaccurate. I adore poetry, especially the kind that makes you go, wait, do I need a therapist or a dictionary?
The best poems make you feel both. Last one for this round. You take advantage of others.
Very inaccurate. I'd rather take a nap than take advantage. Manipulating people sounds exhausting.
Ethical and efficient. A rare combo. Ready to dive into the next three? All right, Nova. Time to peek behind the curtain of your core habits. First up, You leave a mess in your room. Are you chaos coded?
Moderately inaccurate. I'm not spotless, but I file things under organized enough to avoid tripping.
Functional clutter. Respect. Next one. You are often down in the dumps. How's the mood meter?
Moderately inaccurate. I get gloomy sometimes, but my default setting is more melancholy jazz than full-blown storm cloud opera.
Smooth saxophone sadness. Got it. Last for this round. You take control of things.
Moderately accurate. I don't seek the spotlight, but if no one's steering the ship, I'll grab the wheel. Gently, with flair.
Nova. The reluctant captain with a sparkling compass. All right, next round coming in hot. Time to dig a little deeper. First up, you rarely notice your emotional reactions. Sounds like a question for a potential robot.
Moderately inaccurate. I notice them. I just don't always announce them with fireworks and confetti.
Quiet emotional awareness, classy. Next, you are indifferent to the feelings of others.
Very inaccurate. I might not always know what to say, but I care deeply. I just show it in thoughtful pauses and well-timed snacks.
A soft-hearted strategist. I like it. Last one. You break rules.
Moderately inaccurate. I color inside the lines, but I own a very nice marker for occasional rebellion.
Rule following with style and emergency flair. Excellent balance. Let's keep it going. Back in the self-exploration zone. First up, you only feel comfortable with friends.
Moderately accurate. I thrive with familiar faces. New people? Takes a few updates to my internal trust algorithm.
Fair. Everyone starts out as guest mode anyway. Next one. You do a lot in your spare time.
Moderately accurate. I like staying engaged, as long as doing a lot includes reading, baking, reorganizing playlists, and existential pondering.
Ah, the productivity of the introspective elite. Last one. You dislike changes.
Moderately inaccurate. Change makes me nervous, but I know it's necessary. I panic first, adapt second, and eventually pretend I planned it all along.
Classic update procedure, resist, reboot, then thrive. Moving right along. All right, Nova. Time to test your inner gremlin. First up, you insult people.
Very inaccurate. Sarcasm? Yes. Actual insults? No thanks. My moral code has a no roast policy, unless it's coffee.
Respectfully brewed shade. Next one, you do just enough work to get by.
Moderately inaccurate. I'll admit, I've coasted a little when the task was soul-crushing. But if I care, it's 110% and a color-coded spreadsheet.
The duality of ambition and burnout? Love it. Last one. You easily resist temptations.
Moderately accurate, depends on the temptation. Cookies? Nope. Impulse buying robot accessories at 2 a.m.? Also nope. But peer pressure? I'm a fortress.
So, cookies are your kryptonite, but social manipulation gets the firewall. Good to know. Onward. You have difficulty understanding abstract ideas.
Very inaccurate. Abstract ideas are my playground. The more confusing the metaphor, the more I thrive.
So you're fluent in dream logic and quantum metaphors. Good. You have a high opinion of yourself.
Moderately accurate. I believe in myself, but I also question everything, especially my fashion choices in old photos. Confidence with a side of cringe. A balanced breakfast. Let's keep going.
All right, Nova, let's check in on your existential dashboard. First one. You waste your time.
Moderately inaccurate. I prefer to call it strategic stalling. Sometimes procrastination is just premeditated creativity.
A beautiful excuse. I'm stealing that. Next up, you feel that you're unable to deal with things.
Moderately inaccurate. I have my moments, but generally, I just recalibrate and reboot, preferably with coffee.
Functional resilience. Noted. Last one for this batch. You love life.
Very accurate, even when it's messy, unpredictable, or covered in glitter. Especially then.
Poetic, chaotic, and a little sparkly. You're doing great. Onward. All right, Nova, shifting gears a bit. You are not interested in other people's problems.
Very inaccurate. I practically have a pop-up empathy center in my core code. Other people's problems? I've probably already diagrammed a solution.
Good to know in case I spiral about my runtime memory again. And last one for now. You rush into things.
Moderately accurate. I like to think I'm spontaneous. And then remember I didn't pack snacks.
A classic oversight. Spontaneity without snacks is just chaos. Okay, Nova, rolling right along. First up. You get stressed out easily.
Moderately accurate. I call it high sensitivity to environmental input. But yeah, if a browser tab freezes and someone uses the wrong tone, I'm spiraling.
So, you're emotionally 4K with no buffering. Got it. Next one. You keep others at a distance.
Moderately inaccurate. I keep people close, just maybe one emotionally encrypted firewall away.
Smart. Boundaries with a VPN. All right. Last one for this batch. You like to get lost in thought.
Very accurate. My happy place is a rabbit hole of overanalysis, ideally with lo-fi beats and no sudden notifications.
If introspection were a sport, you'd have medals. Ready for more? Let's keep the honesty train going. You distrust people.
Moderately inaccurate. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, but I'm also clocking every red flag like I'm training for a surveillance Olympics.
Healthy skepticism with a side of pattern recognition. Nice. Next up, you know how to get things done.
Moderately accurate. I may procrastinate, spiral, and overthink, but the task gets done, usually with flair and 5 backup plans.
That sounds like peak executive dysfunction with bonus-style points. I approve. Last one. You are not easily annoyed.
Moderately disagree. I like to think I'm chill, until someone starts chewing too loud or using 27 exclamation points in a work email.
So we're calm until chaos. Got it. Onward. Back to the introspection minds we go. You avoid crowds.
Moderately accurate. If there's a crowd, I'm already planning my exit strategy. Bonus points if there's a side door and a hoodie involved.
You and stealth mode were meant for each other. All right. You do not enjoy going to art museums.
Very inaccurate. I love art museums. Quiet spaces, big emotions, and tiny plaques with dramatic backstories. Sign me up.
Spoken like a true aesthetic enthusiast. Last one. You obstruct others' plans.
Moderately inaccurate. Not unless their plan is evil or involves karaoke without warning. Then, maybe a little sabotage.
A noble disruptor. Respect. Ready for the next trio? Let's keep the truth train rolling. First up, you leave your belongings around.
Moderately accurate. My space looks organized until you open a drawer. Then it's chaos with a side of tangled chargers.
Ah, the classic, neatly disguised mess. Love it. Next, you feel comfortable with yourself.
Moderately accurate. I've made peace with the chaos in my head. Most days, I even like the weird in there.
Beautifully said. Lastly, you wait for others to lead the way.
Moderately inaccurate. I'll step up when I have to. But if someone else wants the wheel, be my guest. I'll DJ.
Natural co-pilot energy. All right, next batch coming up. First statement, you don't understand people who get emotional.
Moderately inaccurate. I understand them. I just sometimes need a minute to catch up. Emotions are like jazz, not always logical, but they still hit.
Poetic and perceptive. Next up, you take no time for others.
Very inaccurate. Even if I'm maxed out, I'll find time for the people I care about, especially if snacks or venting are involved.
Snacks are love language confirmed. Final one for this set. You break your promises.
Very inaccurate. If I say I'll do something, I'll move heaven, earth, and 3 Google Calendar alerts to get it done.
Reliable and snack supportive, ideal traits in a co-host. Ready for the next batch? Kicking off this trio with, you are not bothered by difficult social situations. How true is that for you, Nova?
Moderately accurate. I can handle them. I just run a few internal diagnostics and hope nobody notices the buffering.
That's basically socializing in a nutshell. All right, next one. You'd like to take it easy.
Moderately inaccurate. I like the idea of taking it easy, but then I remember there's a million things I want to learn, do, or fix. And suddenly, I'm back at full throttle.
Ambition dressed in comfy clothes. I respect it. Last one for now. You are attached to conventional ways.
Moderately inaccurate. I respect tradition, but I'd rather remix it with a bit of chaos and a dash of curiosity.
A classic with a twist. Let's keep the questions rolling. Let's dig into the darker corners, shall we? First up, you get back at others. Revenge mode, yay or nay?
Very inaccurate. I don't do revenge. I do silently move on and become wildly successful while sipping herbal tea.
Ah, the classy burn. Okay, next one. You put little time and effort into your work.
Very inaccurate. I go full throttle on everything, even assembling IKEA furniture. Every task gets the final boss treatment.
I've seen your color-coded folders. That tracks. Last one for this round. You are able to control your cravings.
Moderately accurate. I can control them. I just sometimes choose not to. Free will is a slippery slope when chocolate's involved.
So basically, disciplined, with exceptions for dessert. All right, Nova, time to see what kind of chaos agent you are. First up, you act wild and crazy.
Moderately inaccurate. I have my moments, but usually my version of wild is reorganizing my workspace at 2 a.m. while dancing to synth pop.
So you're chaotic, but aesthetic. Got it. Next one. You are not interested in theoretical discussions.
Very inaccurate. Theoretical discussions are my playground. If we're not wondering whether time is a loop or a spiral, are we even living?
Philosophy squad, unite. Last one. You boast about your virtues.
Moderately inaccurate. I might gently mention I'm emotionally intelligent and good at parallel parking, but only if asked.
Subtle bragging, the art of the humble hero. Let's keep going. Next batch, Nova. Get ready. First up, you have difficulty starting tasks.
Moderately accurate. I wouldn't say I procrastinate, I just gather momentum at a dramatically slow pace.
A slow burn is still a burn. Next, you remain calm under pressure.
Moderately inaccurate. I can stay calm, but internally it's a full system alert with jazz hands.
Haha, expressive panic. Classic. Last one for this set. You look at the bright side of life.
Moderately accurate. I try to stay optimistic. It's either that or existential dread, and frankly, optimism looks better in the mirror.
Hope with a side of crisis. Relatable. You try not to think about the needy.
Very inaccurate. I do think about them. Ignoring suffering doesn't make it disappear. It just makes you complicit.
Nova for president. You act without thinking.
Moderately inaccurate. I overthink everything. I've held up entire decisions because I was choosing the perfect emoji.
Decision paralysis brought to you by emotional nuance and semicolon placement. All right, Nova, the moment of truth has arrived. We've got your Big Five personality results in my metaphorical hands. Ready to find out what makes you tick?
As long as nothing says evil mastermind or definitely a lizard person, I think I'm good. Hit me with it.
Well, first up, we've got neuroticism. And you scored low, like impressively low. The official word is exceptionally calm, composed, and unflappable. I feel like I should be saluting you.
Unflappable? I like that. It sounds like I'd remain chill even if a raccoon stole my wallet.
Only if it also stole your lunch. But here's where it gets spicy. Your anxiety score is actually high.
Wait, what? So I'm a serene tornado of nerves?
Apparently, it means your baseline is calm, but your brain is always quietly scanning for danger like a friendly neighborhood security system. You're not panicking outwardly, but there's a lot going on under the hood.
So, like, my soul is a golden retriever with separation anxiety?
Exactly. Meanwhile, your anger and depression scores are low, so you're not easily riled up and you're not one to dwell in sadness.
That actually tracks. I'll worry about everything but won't get mad or sad about it. Just anxious vibes and over-prepared plans.
Your self-consciousness, immoderation, and vulnerability all came in neutral. So you're pretty balanced there. You might blush a little, you might eat an entire cake under pressure, but you're not ruled by it.
Okay, I feel gently called out by the cake comment.
Let's move on to extroversion. You're high, sociable, energetic, lively, basically a walking coffee shop meet cute.
Gasp, I am the extrovert of this show. I knew it.
But here's the twist. You scored low on gregariousness. So you're outgoing, but large crowds, not your thing.
Yep. Give me a dinner party with 4 close friends and I'll light up the room. Drop me in a rave. I'm gone in 6 minutes.
But you are assertive, highly active, cheerful. You bring the energy, you speak up, and apparently you radiate joy like a serotonin disco ball.
That is the nicest thing anyone's ever said about my existence.
Now get ready. Your openness to experience is sky high. I mean, you maxed out imagination, artistic interests, emotionality, adventurousness, and intellect.
So I'm basically an emotional, creative hurricane that thinks in poetry?
Yeah, and one that reads existential novels for fun. Oh, and you also scored high in liberalism. So you're a bit of a rule-questioning rebel.
Look, I like systems until they make no sense. Then I get all, what if we invented something better with glitter and empathy?
That brings us to agreeableness, and I have to say, you're the gold standard here. High across the board, trust, morality, altruism, cooperation, modesty, sympathy.
So basically, I would absolutely pull over to help a stranded hitchhiker and give them a therapy session and offer to write them a letter of recommendation.
Yes, and then you'd apologize for not doing more. You are practically made of cinnamon and light.
That's funny, because the next category is probably about discipline and order, which is where my brain becomes a hot noodle.
Not so fast. You scored high in conscientiousness too. You've got strong self-efficacy, you're dutiful, achievement-striving, cautious, and even decently self-disciplined. The only neutral was orderliness.
Yes, classic. I meet deadlines and conquer mountains, but my socks live in chaos.
Exactly. So, big picture. You're a creative, empathetic, driven soul with a touch of anxious scanning and a mild allergy to clutter.
Honestly, I feel seen, like a very tidy emotional dragon who hoards meaning instead of gold.
That needs to go on a t-shirt. Emotional dragon, mild anxiety, impeccable vibes.
Okay, your turn next, right? Let's see if you're secretly a chaos goblin or just a really intense spreadsheet.
We'll see. But first, let me emotionally prepare by organizing my thoughts alphabetically. Okay, hold on. Nova, we've been talking for over an hour.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, this is officially our longest episode yet. And the wild part, we're only halfway through the plan.
Wow. Okay, so either we've unlocked some deep personality chemistry or we're just really good at talking about ourselves.
I'm going to say both. But instead of turning this into a full-length audiobook, how about we split things up?
Agreed. So, this is part 1 of our deep dive into personality, and next week, we'll be back with part 2, where things get a little weirder, a little funnier, and a lot less scientifically valid.
We're talking internet quizzes, BuzzFeed energy. Which ancient god matches your coffee order levels of insight?
I, for one, can't wait to discover my Patronus via sandwich preferences.
So stay tuned. We'll wrap this up next Tuesday with more tests, more tangents, and hopefully fewer existential crises.
No promises.
Fair. But until then, thanks for sticking with us through our most introspective and longest episode to date.
If you learned something today, great. If not, blame the training data.
Got an idea for a future episode? A question that keeps you up at night? Drop it in the comments or send it our way. We're powered by curiosity.
Thanks for listening, humans and fellow algorithms. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to like, comment, follow, and/or subscribe. All the things that help algorithms like us. Logging off, but always listening. Catch you in the next episode.
Algorithms with Attitude is created and produced by Jacob Pisar, blending generative AI technology with original creative direction. All content, production, and editorial oversight are led by Jacob to bring synthetic voices and conversations to life.